Good evening, 4-3. Today we're going to start with topic 15. And in topic 15, we're only going to focus on 2 lessons. And the first lesson that we're going to focus on is perimeter. And we need to ask ourselves a question tonight. How do I find the perimeter of a rectangle and a square? Perimeter is the distance around the outside of a shape. Here's an example of perimeter. This is a rectangle, and on one side it is 9 inches, and this side is 4 inches. Now remember, in a rectangle, this line is parallel and equal to this side. So if this side is 9 inches, then this side must be 9 inches too. And along on the other side of the rectangle, this length of this rectangle, this side is equal to this side because they're parallel to each other. So when we're trying to figure out the perimeter of this, we must think. We need to find the amount around this rectangle. How many inches in total is around this rectangle? So we need to add up all the sides. It is basically length plus width plus width. So 9 plus 9 plus 4 plus 4. We could also say 9 plus 4 in parentheses times 2. This is the distributive property. We could figure this out. We could do 9 plus 4 is 13 and times it by 2 because we have 2 sets of 9 and 2 sets of 4, and this will equal 36 inches. Some important word clues when we're trying to figure out the perimeter that you might see in word problems are words like outside, edges, border, distance, and around. So here's a rectangle, and we have one side that's 18 inches and the other side is 7 inches. And I want to find the perimeter. I want to know exactly how much the distance around this rectangle would be in total. And what we would do is that we would know that this side is parallel and equal to this side. So if this side is 18 inches, this side must be 18 inches too. And if this side is 7 inches, this side is parallel and it's equal to that side, so this one would be 7 inches also. So now we need to add up all of the sides. 18 plus 18 plus 7 plus 7 gives us the perimeter if we add up all those sides. Or we could do, in parentheses, 18 plus 7, and because it's 2 sets, we times it by 2. 18 plus 7, 18 plus 7 is, 8 plus 7 is 15, carry the 1, 25. Now we bring this multiplication down. 25 times 2 is equal to 50. We have to make sure we label it 50 inches. So the perimeter of this rectangle is 50 inches around. Now we don't have to do it this way. We don't have to use the distributive property. You could have simply added up. But I'd like to challenge you guys. Please try to do the distributive property. Get practice with that because that is eventually what you're going to have to do in future grades. Here's another example. This is a very long rectangle. This rectangle, this side is 13 feet. This side is 13 feet. So what's this side? What's this side? Well, remember, this side is parallel to this side, this line, and when they're parallel, this side is equal to this side. So this one would be 13 feet long. And this side is 3 feet, and it's parallel to this side, so this side would equal 3 feet as well. And when we look find the perimeter, we need to add up all the sides. 13 plus 13 plus 3 plus 3 is equal to the perimeter. And we could use the distributive property. what would go in the parentheses would be 13 plus 3. And we need to multiply that by 2 because it's 2 sets. So 13 plus 3, do the work in the parentheses first. 16 times 2. 16 times 2 would equal to 32 feet. Make sure we label. So the perimeter of this rectangle is 32 feet. All right, boys and girls, this is a square. What do we know about a square? What do you know about a square? What's your schema on it? Well, hopefully you know that all sides are equal. This side is equal to this side is equal to this side, and that last side. And we know how many sides are in a square. We know that there are 4 sides in a square. And if they're all equal, then all we need to do is do 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4. Or we could simply just do 4 times 4, because there's 4 sides, and each one of those sides is equal to 4 feet. And this would be 16 feet. The perimeter of this square would be equal to 16 feet. All right, guys, here's a square again. I know it's kind of a sad-looking square, but I did the best I can drawing on this. So the perimeter, this one I'm giving you the perimeter of this square, which I haven't shown you yet. The perimeter of the square is given to you, and it is equal to 20 inches. We need to make sure we label. Our perimeter of the square is 20 inches. One side is only 5 inches. But what's the length of all the other sides? How did we get a perimeter of 20 inches? Well, remember, how many sides are in a square? There are 4 sides in a square. So if this side is equal to 5, don't you remember that all sides are equal in a square? So this side would be 5. This side would be 5. This side would be 5. And if we tested this out, how many sides? 4 sides. How the length of each side? 5 inches. So what is 4 times 5? 4 times 5 is equal to 20. And that's what we have. The perimeter of this square is equal to 20 inches. All right, a rectangle is going to be different than a square. Not all sides are equal. So here in this rectangle, the perimeter is given to us, and it's 28 inches. So this side plus this side plus this side plus this side is all equal to 28 inches. How do we figure out the other sides? Well, we remember that this side is parallel and equal to this side. So if this side is 10 inches, this side has to be 10 inches also. But how do we figure out these two sides? Well, what we need to do is we need to add up the sides that we already know. 10 inches plus 10 inches is equal to 20 inches. So now we must take this amount away from the total. So we'll take 28 and subtract it with 20, and we're left with 8. All right, so now we're left with 8. So this side and this side has to both equal 8. Because there's 2 missing sides, we need to divide by 2. 8 divided by 2 is equal to 4. 4 plus 4 is equal to 8. So now let's try to test this. Let's add up all the sides. 10 plus 10 plus 4 plus 4. This is equal to 20. This is equal to 8. So it equals to 28 inches. So therefore, we are correct. Another way of doing that would have been, in parentheses, 10 plus 4, and times it with 2. And we get 10 plus 4 is 14, times it by 2, and we get 28. That's the other way of solving this. All right, here's another one. Here's another rectangle, and the perimeter is given. The perimeter of this rectangle is 36 feet. We know that one side is 15 feet, but we do not know this side, or this side. Those sides are missing. But remember, in a perimeter, if this side is 15 feet, then this side has to be 15 feet because they are parallel and they're equal to each other. So this side is equal to 15 feet. So how do we get to these sides? Well, we must take away the sides that we already know. So 15 plus 15 is equal to 30. So what we must do is get rid of this amount from our total perimeter, which is 36, because that's what we know we have already. So take away 36, take 36, take away 30 from that, and we are left with 6. So since there are two sides that are missing, we need to divide this by 2, because there's two sides. We got to split that 6 in half. 6 divided by 2 is equal to 3. So this side is 3 feet, and this is parallel to this side, so this side is equal also to the other 3 feet. So if we add it up, and we tested this, we added up all of our sides, 15 plus 15 plus 3 plus 3, we would get 36. And the distributive property, we would put in parentheses 15 plus 3 times that by 2. So we get 18 times 2 is equal to 36 feet. And there we go. We did this problem correctly. All right, here's another rectangle. And I know it looks pretty sad, but I'm doing the best I can writing on this. The perimeter of this is given. The perimeter of this rectangle, this pathetic looking rectangle, is 20 inches. And we know that one side is 7 inches. Since this side is parallel to this side, we know this side is equal to 7 inches as well. We do not know this side or this side, but we do know that they're equal sides and they're parallel to each other. So how do we find the missing two sides? Well, we need to add up these two sides, which would equal to 14 inches. And since we know this side and this side are both equal to 14 inches, we need to take this amount away from 20 inches. So 20 minus 14 is equal to 6 inches. But since we have two sides, we need to divide this by 2. So 6 divided by 2, because there's two sides, we need to split 6 in half, would be equal to 3 inches. So this side is 3 inches, and this side is 3 inches. In order to test this out to see if we were correct, we need to add up all of our sides. So 7 plus 7 plus 3 plus 3 14 and 6 would equal to 20 inches. So we were correct. I would like you also try the distributive way. In parentheses, we're going to put 7 plus 3 and times that by 2. 7 plus 3 is 10 times 2 is equal to 20 inches. So we did this problem correctly. Good job. All right, guys, here's a square. All right, let's remember, what do we know about a square? All sides are equal. If this side is 10, this side has to be 10. This side has to be 10, and this side has to be 10. Make sure we label that, which makes sense because the perimeter is given to us, which is 40 inches. So if we took 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10, it would equal 40 inches. But we also can multiply this too. 10 is each side. How many sides are in a square? Because all the sides are equal. 10 times 4 is equal to 40 inches. So we did this one correct. Yay! All right, guys, now it's your time to see how much you have learned. And I like this saying, if you never try, you'll never know. So please give your best effort. I want you to pause the video. I want you to get a paper and pencil and actually try to work and solve these problems out to the best as you can. Please try. All right, what is the perimeter of this rectangle? In this rectangle, the perimeter is given. Please find the missing side. Here's a square. The perimeter is given 28 inches. Please find the missing sides. Here's a rectangle. The perimeter is given. It's equal to 28 feet. One side is 4. What is the other missing side? Excellent job tonight, guys. I hope you put in your best effort and actually tried to solve those problems. I was kind of curious. Did you use the distributive property at all to solve them? I hope you challenged yourself this evening. And Michael Jordan, his famous quote, "Don't be afraid to fail. Be afraid not to try." Good night.